Okay, so we're doing the Destroy the Scimitar scenario here, my friend and I. I got the Koronega with Worf as my captain, and Nagarin and Kurla as crew, and I got an advanced weapon system, command tokens, and photon torpedoes. And we'll see how that goes for that. And then he's got the he's going to play the other two. He's a new player, so I kind of like this scenario for new players because it's not me against him. It's him, and he's going to use two ships, the Enterprise and the Kazera. So that's kind of nice. So he gets to use a cloaked ship and kind of see how movement goes and stuff. Yeah, and for new players, because that way they're not getting pounded on by experienced players for no reason. So on the Enterprise, he has Picard, Worf, Geordi, and a red shirt. That's mandatory. With some photon torpedoes. And on the Kazera, he's got Torith, Bakra, Nevak, Miles O'Brien, and plasma torpedoes, and quantum something singularity, and
counterattack.
Yeah, it's got lots of stuff there. Anyway, we'll see how this plays out here. And yeah, so the three of us, or two of us here, when he's playing two ships, we'll see if we can take down the Scimitar. I've never played this before, so we'll have to see how this goes.
This is the discard pile. You see that it's gone over.
So this was turn one. I would just move forward one and cloak. And then his Kazera kind of did a left bank. And his Enterprise D went forward.
Timidly.
And the Scimitar moved towards him, his two ships, and it was in range of the Kazera, and it fired and took out his plasma torpedoes and did 2 damage to it. Yes, there's his plasma torpedoes. They were destroyed. So that's all that's happened right now, and that's kind of the where we're at there. I think we need to link up or something here because I don't want us to get picked off one by one. Those 8 shields are pretty intimidating. So there's a good look at the battlefield right now. Okay, so this is turn 2, and it's not looking good for us already. The Scimitar moved close to the Enterprise D, and the Kazera and the Koronega could not take a shot on it. It took all the shields off the Enterprise and gave it a warp core breach, and the Enterprise fired back and took 3 shields off it. But yeah, it's a very powerful ship, we're finding out, and we've got to close in and help. But of course it's hard because it moves 3 every turn and you don't know what direction. So, but we'll see how this goes. We got to start working together. We're going to get killed by this ship. We're going to lose the scenario, and we're not even playing against anybody. Okay, so that round, the Enterprise really got nasty hit there. It's only got 1 health left, and it's still got that warp core breach. The Scimitar is down to 1 shield, though. The Enterprise fired at a point-blank range with its 360 fire, and my Koronega also took some of its shields down. But it's still got 1 shield, so it's still cloaked for this round, unfortunately, and it's still firing at us. But the Enterprise is looking pretty bad. It's a powerful little ship, that what do you call that thing? The Scimitar, yeah. Very deadly. We're still alive. Picard used an action to flip that, or to do that thing with the warp core where he can now only move 1 for the rest of the game, and that way he doesn't blow up. But the Scimitar moved where you see it is now and fired on my Koronega. 1 shot got through my cloaking. So I've now got a jostled navigator, so I can't remember what it is. If I overlap, I take an extra or I take damage automatically. Overlap with a ship or an obstacle. So the Enterprise only has 1 hull point left. The Koronega only has 1 hit, but it's a critical. And the Kazera has 2 hits, and the Scimitar still got 1 shield, which is enough to get its cloak. I'm thinking like the Scimitar could win this scenario. This is looking pretty bad. It's moving 3 a turn, so it's very hard to actually predict where it's going to be. That's what I'm finding. Okay, this actually looks pretty good because you can see our 2 ships are defending him. The Enterprise is down to 1 hull point, so the Romulans and the Klingons went on protection mode, and because we knew if he came towards us, he'd bump into the Romulan. He couldn't go off the table, and if he went to the this way. The Romulan would be closest. If it went that way, the Klingon would be closest. So it was me that was the closest. It fired on me, and I took a hit. But then I fired back. I took off his cloak and got another hit in there because he only had one shield left. So now there's no cloak. It's slowed down from 3 movement to 2 movement. We're still wounded, but it's actually looking not too bad. And that's pretty, I think it was a good strategy there, bud.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked, actually. So at least now we can actually start locking on, because we all have torpedoes that we've been dying to lock on, but now we can actually lock on. So we'll see how this goes. Actually, it's a good it's a good scenario, like I said, for a starting player, because you're not beating up on a starting player. You're trying to work with the starting player and learning the movement and the attack and all the phases and stuff. It's a very, very good scenario, I would say. I think we may actually lose this. The Scimitar moved over and just plastered the Corega. Just completely destroyed it. So now it's the Scimitar with only 1 damage on it versus the Enterprise D with only 1 hit point left, and against the Kazera. And we'll see how this goes. This was not good either. The last explosion was the Corega, and now this explosion is the Kazera. The Scimitar is definitely going to win this. We've now hit it for 2 damage, but the Enterprise has 4 damage on it, and can only move 1 because of the warp core breach. It's just, yeah, the Kazera's lost, the Corega's lost, and the Enterprise is down to 1 hull point, and yeah. I don't know what's going wrong. We're having a hard time getting all 3 of us firing. Usually it's only 1 ship firing at it at a time. So anyway, that's where it is. Okay, that was pretty sad. This is actually a tough scenario. We're just finding out. He still had 6 hull point left. He just destroyed the Enterprise D. So he took out the Bird of Prey, he took out the Daedrix class Romulan ship, and then he just finished off the Enterprise. Is there anything that we could have done there, Dan, to save ourselves?
The mini kit for racing.
No.
He
was rolling well.
He was rolling well.
Like, the move really makes a difference.
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah. No, and especially him getting all those, what do you call it, evade dice because of the stealth especially. It's just brutal. Anyway. Okay, I offered to do a different scenario with my friend Dan here, but he really wants to kill the Scimitar. It spanked us so bad. We lost our the first battle badly. So I got the Corega. Basically, I got the exact same things on it before I got Worf. I changed one of the command tokens. And again, Nagarin's there, Kurla's there in case it gets in close. And I got my photon torpedoes, which I don't think I ever fired because the cloak just did not go off. He's made some changes. The Kazera now has Denatra on it, and he's got counterattack and some other things on there to hopefully his plasma torpedoes don't get knocked out. And now he's got Data on the Enterprise, so he gets 2 evades with Data. And he's got missile launchers and stuff, so a Ferengi thing. Yeah, we're going to try this again. There we're starting off. Once again, this is the Destroy the Scimitar. It's got the 8 shields. It's very deadly. Oh my goodness. And plus that 6 attack, and in close it was firing 7 attack, and we were rolling hot dice for its attack. Like, he could not evade. I think it was sometimes where we got 6 and 7 hits, wasn't it?
6 and 7 hits.
Oh
plus
my.
Criticals.
Yeah, exactly. Plus the criticals. Yeah, I know. There wasn't much we could do there. Anyway, we're going to try this again. So the Enterprise D, the Corega, and the Kazera all trying again to destroy that Scimitar. Okay, our first turn, it came right at the Corega, and so my Corega has 2 hits on it, and it was a power disruption was the crit. So it just said I put a power token on it, the auxiliary power token, and then flip the card down. So Craig's got an auxiliary token, and it's got 2 hits on it, and that's where we're looking right now. I wish I had gone 4. I had 4. It would have been less damage for me. But anyway, that's where we're at. Okay, so this round the Scimitar went right in behind me and hit me 4 times, but I had an evade token on. plus the battle stations from the command tokens, and I rolled to evade, so I was able to evade everything. But wow, it's
Cavalry's coming.
the cavalry's coming. Yeah, we got to link up. He's got Denatra on there, so we can get our firepower back together. But oh my goodness, the scimitar is just deadly. That's all I can say. Okay, so comedy of errors going on here. I moved forward, and then his two ships bumped into, well, one, the Khazar bumped into me, and then the Enterprise bumped into it. It fired at my Corega. I had 8 defense dice. I had 1 for my agility, 1 for the, what do you call it, the Corega's card text, 1 for the range, and then I spent another one from the command tokens, and then 4 for cloak, and just barely got rid of everything. So I still get 3 hull left. 2 damage on me, and we're not looking too bad, I guess, but yeah, it's still at full shields, and it's I don't know, we'll see how this goes. It's just devastating. Okay, the Corega did a U-turn there, a 180, to try to flip around and get back in the battle. The Khazar was in range, and the Scimitar were both at just extreme range 3. The Scimitar fired first, 1 hit and 2 crits got through, and 1 hit stunned the helmsman, so the Khazar didn't get to fire back, and the other hit a warp core breach. So it's not looking good for us already. I think this is a hard mission, Dan. I think this is not mission impossible, but it's mission hard right now. Yeah. We don't have any Romulan cloaked mines. That's another thing. I only have 1 Romulan ship and the stuff from the starter, really. Wow. Because, yeah, we need better gear to take on this. You need good gear to take on the Scimitar, I gotta say that. It's brutal. Okay, yeah, not looking good here. The Enterprise hit the Corega, so it didn't get its actions. The Scimitar moved over and just finished off the Khazara, like, yeah. So the Khazara was blown up, the Romulans were blown up. The Enterprise fired back, didn't do anything. The Scimitar is just rolling hot. It is. Doesn't matter which of us is rolling for it. It's killing us, and it's almost coming at us intelligently, finishing off ship it wounds. And now we're down to 2 ships versus it. Yeah, the Scimitar is deadly. That's all I can say. Yeah, that actually didn't work out too bad. The Enterprise lost 2 shields there, but it lost 3 shields, so that's not too bad. The Enterprise, it fired at the Enterprise, Enterprise fired back, and the Corega fired back. So I don't know, it's looking not too bad. I'm hopeful again. Hopefully. That's right. I'll go according to plan. Okay, so you can see where the Scimitar is. It's almost moving intelligently. He had him blocked moving this way. He couldn't have moved that way, and I had him blocked moving that way, and he moved the one spot that we didn't want him to move. Also, the Enterprise did, what was that, an EM pulse?
Pulse,
yeah. The Ferengi EM pulse, so it took his attack down by 2. We'll have to keep doing that, because that's an awesome...
Yeah.
That's pretty spectacular, actually. It saved my life. My Corega took another 2... Was it 1 damage or 2 damage? Another 1 damage, I think it was. So I've only got 2 hull left. But, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. But you're rolling better. Okay, the Scimitar moved away from us, and it fired and destroyed my Corega. I rolled 4 evasive, and only 1 crit got through, but the 1 crit was suffer 1 additional damage, and my ship blew up. So it's now just the Enterprise, but the Enterprise still has 2 shields, and is undamaged otherwise, against the Scimitar, which only has 2 shields left. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. The Enterprise is actually chasing the Scimitar. Shizon, I think, was the name of that captain. Shizon or something like that, Shizon. But they're out of firing, and the Enterprise D is chasing the Scimitar. That's where we're at right now. Okay, so Picard's still chasing Shizon, and the Enterprise D is literally chasing this card here, or the Scimitar. But he used, what was that? Missile launcher? Ferengi missile launchers to get through his shields, and did a weapon malfunction thing, so brought his weapon from a 5 to, or from a 6 down to a 5. So that's pretty good. But he has no shields, and the 2 crits that Picard has on him. One took his ship actions away, and the other one took his captain actions away. They were what were those?
I cannot perform.
Injured captain and what was that other one? Damaged sensor array or whatever. So he's hurting pretty badly right now, but so is the Scimitar. Well, actually, no, the Scimitar still got 2 shields. Anyway. Okay, so the Enterprise is still chasing. They're out of range this turn. He's trying to get rid of his damaged sensor array, trying to repair it, but needs to roll a hit to repair that damaged sensor array. I don't know if there's much we can do about the injured captain, but that's where we're at right now. We had a better run at the Scimitar. I don't know, because at least with the other one, we got the shields all down the cloak off. I don't think we did as good.
Well, yeah, it's hard to say.
No, it's not hard to say. That explosion was the Enterprise. I don't think we can do this one. I seriously don't. Not with the ships I have. I just got a bunch of Klingons and then just one Enterprise and the Kazera, the starter set. A bunch of Klingons. I don't think we can actually defeat the Scimitar. We're not even coming close. It's just blasting us impressively. And as Dan said, it's almost acting intelligently. Like, it ran off and then it came right back at the worst possible time. Yeah, it's... I remember we had like a 75% chance it was going to bump into one of us.
Yeah.
And only a 4 could save it. What did it roll?
That was the 4.
It was the 4. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah. That was brutal. We got spanked. I don't think there's much we could have done better.
No, you second guess yourself and you're never going to
No.
be able to figure it out.